Going on, Falcon fans? This your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Football season is finally here. Currently, right now, the Los Angeles Rams and the Buffalo Bills are playing. And just watching this game right now, you can tell it's the first game of the season. You can see everybody's trying to get the jitter out, trying to make sure that they try to execute the game plan. A lot of these teams been getting ready for this first game for like probably by like a month now, trying to figure out how to get that first win of the season. So we got to keep in mind the teams that we see in week one probably won't be the same teams we see later on in the season, but that first game, that's how you set the momentum, that's how you set the tone, and that's what we want to see from our Atlanta Falcons this year. So hopefully these guys can come in and do what we've been talking about all week. Come in, set that tone against those AINTS, that rivalry in our stadium, let them know what we're going to be about, what we're going to be all about this year. So guys, today I want to talk to you about today is the fact that what's different, what's new, why would it be different for the Atlanta Falcons this year? And so we're going to get into that real quick. But guys, if you have not already, go ahead and please subscribe to the channel. Please hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Please hit the like button so I know you guys out here that I talk about. Then please share my video throughout the YouTube universe so more people can come in and hear me talk about these Atlanta Falcons. So like I said, guys, the question is, why is it going to be new for the Falcons this year? All right, and you have to sit back and you think about it, right? Everybody's putting the Falcons based off last year's record, and the fact is, let's just put it all on the table. This is not the same team from last year. It's just not. All right. This year alone, the Falcons have 26 new players. If you just go look at the depth chart that they released, the Falcons have 26 new players on this 53-man roster. That says a lot. 26 new players. And starting along, they have 8 new starters on defense and 3 new starters on offense. So that tells you already that this is not the same Atlanta Falcons teams from last year. So the question is, like I said, what's going to be different? We're going to talk about that. So let's start on the offensive side of the ball. It's 11 new offensive players. 11 new offensive players, right? Like I said, it's 3 new starters. That's Drake London. Hopefully he gets to play. Of course, he was limited today. The word is they supposed to make a decision on him by Saturday. So hopefully he gets to go. But that's one of our new starters. One of our other areas, our left guard position. We got actually Elijah Wilkinson actually starting at left guard position, right? That's another new starter. Some of the new guys that's in there, we got another new starter in there. And then, of course, our quarterback, another new face taking over for Matty Ice. Marcus Mariota is actually somebody else that's going to be a new starter. We have a new center. However, Drew Dalton was here last year. He played a lot last year. So he's a new starter as well. I was not counting him because he actually was here last year. I'm just talking about some of our new faces that we got. Of the new faces we got, 3 of those guys is going to be starting on this team. That's one thing that's going to be different. Another thing that's going to be different is just the newness, right? The element of surprise. Honestly, guys, we don't know what they expect from this, especially from this offensive side of the ball. We know what we've seen in training camp. We know we've seen glimpses of how they're going to be able to utilize some of their players in this offense. But in reality, for the New Orleans Aints, it's going to be the element of surprise. That's definitely in game one of the new things. So that newness, the element of surprise we're going to see, that style of play, right? The style of play is definitely going to change from last year. Of course, we know we had Matty Ice, straight up pocket passers, not moving around a lot. It's going to sit there, read his keys, and throw the ball definitely on time in the place where it need to go. All right, we love that by Matt Ryan for 14 years. Now we have Marcus Mariota. I think actually plays more into what Arthur Smith wants to do with his quarterback. Somebody who can move, get out the pocket, actually call more dynamic plays, kind of like what you've been seeing from a lot of the other quarterbacks around the league, like a Lamar Jackson, like a Josh Allen, how they move around Patrick Mahomes. Those are kind of things you can actually see. How he utilized Ryan Tannehill, who's another athletic quarterback that he utilized in Tennessee. So all these things that we're going to be able to see from Arthur Smith, who's now 4 years removed from being that of course 2 years removed from being that offensive coordinator, 4 years from being his first time being offensive coordinator. So he has learned a lot, from an offensive standpoint, being a play caller. Hopefully he can actually keep improving and getting better in that. We all seen what he was able to do his first 2 years in Tennessee. Last year, 7 games with the tools that he had, the only two weapons he had were Kyle Pitts and CP for the most part, and we still was able to, you know, to win 7 games. So I think the style of play is definitely going to be able to different for this team. Like I said, you're looking at Marcus Mariota, the things that he's going to be able to do, things that, like I said, guys, we haven't really seen yet. So that's going to be definitely something that's going to change. And then the last thing is the new weapons that he have, right? You got to think about, like I said, a guy like Drake London, or Brian Edwards, a Demir Bird, or Jared Barnhart, or Tyler Algier. And then we're going to add those guys to our other two dynamic weapons that we already have, like a Kyle Pitts and a Cordell Patterson, and the ability for Marcus Mariota to get outside the pocket and make plays himself. All those things that we're going to be able to do, um, to Arthur Smith's disposal, to be able to use his weapons the way he could use them, that the Saints haven't seen yet. They, of course, they preparing just like we preparing. But guys, if we can get a fast start, get on these guys early, and hit them off with all this newness, like I said, with that style of play that Arthur Smith's going to try to bring, with all our new weapons that we have, I think it's going to bode well for this team. So the question is, on the offense, what's different? All of those things that I just mentioned, and I can't wait to see it take place and see how it unfolds on Sunday at 1 o'clock. I know you guys are excited too. I'll be there for that. So let's see what this offense is going to be able to do. Now let's get to the defensive side of the ball, right? All right. So for the defensive side of the ball, it's actually 15 new defensive players. That's a lot of defensive players, right? 15 new defensive players, and out of those 15 new defensive players, 8 of them are starters, right? Got guys like Anthony Rush. Anthony Rush was here last year, but he did not start. Taquan Graham was here last year. He did not start. Michael Walker did not start. Rashawn Evans, new guy coming in, Lorenzo Carter. Then our two safeties, neither one of our safeties that actually got to start last year. That's Richard Grant and Jalen Hawkins. And then, of course, the other guy that's going to be on the other side of AJ Terrell and Casey Hayward, guys. So, like I said, 8 new starters on this defense and 15 new faces on that defense. That's different. That's different, right? So, what's the big deal about that, right? That's what everybody's going to be saying. So, what's the big deal about new defense, right? For one thing, right, you got to think about it. It's their guys. Last year, Arthur Smith, Dean Pease, Terry Fontenot came in, and they had to work with what they had, right? Of course, they had to let some guys go. They had to bring in guys that kind of did not fit what they wanted to do, but they had to do the bargain basement deals. A little bit what they had to do this year, but I think this time they kind of figured out what they had with the team before and what they wanted. So right. So the thing I want to say about these defensive players for Dean Pease is their guys that could fit their scheme. It's the second year in this offense, and I think Dean Pease is definitely going to take the training wheels off. He mentioned that today in his press conference that, hey, he's putting all the playbook out there. Those guys want to be on the field, they need to know the playbook, because if he feel like he can help this team win, he's going to call those plays. All right, so he's taking the training wheels off. Last year, He was hesitant in calling plays because he didn't believe the guys can handle it. This year, he already stated that that's not the case. He's actually going out and taking the training wheels off. These guys need to just execute those plays, right? Two potential lockdown corners, guys. Um, that's something we haven't had in a long time. If you want to say Desmond Trufant and Robert Alford with those guys, maybe. We know Robert Alford had a problem with actually, you know, penalties and things like that. All quick as hell, being able to move and things like that. But he did have a problem with getting penalties off. So we had to go back a long way to think about when we had two lockdown corners on the outside. A guy like Casey Hayward coming in, a savvy veteran, is going to be able to hold his own. And then we all know AJ Terrell being able to do in his first 3 seasons. So it's going to be exciting to see what these two lockdown corners are going to be able to do, right? And guys, last thing that I want to say about this, it's going to have that attack mindset, right? These guys is going to be bringing that pressure. And we talked about it all off season. The things that we need to do. Pressure is one of the main things that you can do, especially to disrupt a guy like Jameis Winston that don't even know he playing with the Saints. So things like that. So if we can get out there and make Jameis Winston think fast, because we know what happens when he think fast, and make him rush, right? We know what happens when we do that. So if we can actually put that pressure on Jameis Winston, make him think fast, have that attack mindset the whole entire game, I think it's going to bode well for on defense, guys. And the last thing that I want to say is that's what we need to have. That mindset, right? We need to be confident. Believe that we can go out there. Believe that we can be dominant. Believe that we can go out there and beat this team. Forget what all the daughters say. Grady Jarrett said today, no matter what the outside noise think is what you believe, what you think you built this off season, the camaraderie you have with your teammates and things like that. That's what we need to see these guys go out to do. And that's what I think is going to be different. So from an offensive standpoint, these guys are going to go out and they're going to bring that new element, that new surprise to this offense, that style of play that we want to see. All those different weapons, right? And then in that defense, attack, attack, attack. How that confident mindset that we're not going to let these guys score on us today, and that's what we can be able to do from in this game against the New Orleans Aints, guys. We almost there. 3 more days. So, guys, let me know what you think about that. Give me some ideas what you think is going to make this team um, be different this year from just last year, or you can go all the way back. What you think gonna make this team be different from the old Atlanta Falcons, guys? Just like what it says on the screen, this is the new era Falcons. That's in the past. Sunday, we want to start a new chapter with the Atlanta Falcons, and I believe that we can do that. And this is your boy Ricondo coming back at you with another video. Peace.